personally and called an unknown Louis Dancer to congratulate him for downloading the 10th billion song on iTunes.
Know your product inside out. Know your competitors inside out. Because if you do, you have an advantage. You have freedom of mind.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our friends and fans. This is Michael Virardi welcoming you to another Jumpstart Monday, and I hope you all have a productive week coming up. Today, my dear friends, we share an online course, a book, and a proverb that has resonated with us. But before we do that, let's go and see who is here from our friends and fans. And whilst I'm waiting for your messages, please feel free to tag someone you believe should hear this message on a Monday morning. Someone that will be inspired by the resources that we send out, someone who will be educated, and someone who will benefit. I will appreciate it very much if you do so. Oh, Christina Alexandropoulou, welcome. A lot of our friends are coming up. Stuart, Kalimera, Stuart. Sofia Shilimindria Sanatendinao. Who else? Leandros Yalouridis, good morning. Oh, my friend George Ioannou, he's always present. I think you should get a present for always being present. Guys, tag someone you believe should hear this and send it out. We'll be more than honored. Let's say good morning to a few more friends. Ioanna Hadzi, she's always here. Guys, today we're talking about enchantment. And I'm sure you know what enchantment is, but for those of you who might not, according to the dictionary, this is what enchantment is all about. It's a feeling of pleasure, of great delight, and of great pleasure. It also is the state of being under a spell or magic. So my question to all of you is the following, and please drop it in the comments. Can you recall a time that you were enchanted by someone? It could have been your spouse, it could have been your boyfriend, it could have even been your boss or an employee in your company or a family member or a random stranger. Can you recall a time that you were enchanted? Please drop it in the chat. Now, before we begin, go on to see our proverb, let's start. Let me show you our winner of the Stand Up, Stand Out online public speaking course. How do you get a chance to win that? You just share this episode now on YouTube, on Facebook, or on LinkedIn. Just share it and you get a chance to win it. But please tag us, because there are many times we cannot follow who has shared it and you don't get to go in the draw if you don't tag us. So just write a few good words or a few bad words. It's up to you. Be honest. And tag us there, and we will be more than happy. Tag Michael Virardi, and I will be more than happy to get you in the draw. Our winner for the Stand Up, Stand Out online course for this week is Zoe Haralambous, who's a life coach. Congratulations, Zoe, and well done. So today we're starting with the proverb. I'm not starting with the book. I'm not starting with the online course. I'm starting with the proverb. Let's go and see the proverb. It is from Guy Kawasaki's book, which is called Enchantment, and the proverb, which is on page 112, chapter 8, reads the following. This is the golden age of enchantment, because reaching out to people around the world has never been easier, has never been faster, and it has never been cheaper because, as you know, of technology and the social media platforms that are available. So the book we're going to be talking about, since enchantment is the main word, is Guy Kawasaki's book, Enchantment. This is a great book which teaches you, which was written about 10 years ago, and it teaches you how to enchant people. It talks about how to use pull technology, push technology. It even has a chapter on how not to be enchanted. But the two main chapters that are very valid for business people like yourselves is how to enchant your employees and how to enchant your bosses. So let me give you two from each. And these are my own personal things that I've seen coming up the last few years. First and foremost, let's talk about employees. And let's stop the chat now for a while and we talk so people can concentrate on the picture. So for employees, the first and most important thing is to give employees a map. And MAP is an acronym for mastery, autonomy, and purpose. Mastery, people should know how to perform their work and they should improve day by day. So if you want to enchant employees, because disenchanted employees cannot enchant your customers, and disenchanted bosses will not be happy with their employees. So to enchant employees, first of all, give them mastery. Secondly, give them autonomy. And thirdly, give them purpose. How do you do that? You do that exactly as I advise most of my customers. Run weekly short seminars, shots of education. Why? Because if you're teaching them one thing per week, they will gain 52 things per year, 52 weeks. So mastery, they will know how to perform their job better. Autonomy, so you don't have to tell them if the decision they've taken is the right one or which decision to take. So they can show initiative. You gain as the boss, they gain as well. And last but not least, people need purpose. They need to know that they are doing something over and beyond of what you call a job. For example, for FedEx, absolutely getting your package from the one day to the next, safe to their destination. So you need to have a purpose, and employees to be enchanted, they need MAP, the purpose. The second thing is onboarding. And I'm talking through experience. Onboarding sets the scene of how your relationship most probably will develop with your manager or with the owner of the company. And I recall many years ago, my wife went to a company, and on her first day, she worked for 11 and a half hours. And when they took her in to meet the boss was very busy on typing, and he said good morning to the whole group that had the induction on that day, and he turned back and continued typing. Needless to say that Christine didn't see our newborn son from the moment she left until the evening she came back. And this happened over a series of weeks. And at the end of the day, she told me, will I disappoint you if I quit? And I told her, you will disappoint me if you do not quit your job. And she quit. And that company, out of all other companies in that industry, is the one, or was the one, that had most of the troubles, not only with their employees, but in general. So map your employees' success by giving them mastery, by giving them autonomy and purpose. And secondly, make sure that you have an onboarding process which helps set the scene of how you move forward. Now, let's move on how to enchant your bosses. And I'll talk again through my experience. I think the best way to enchant bosses is through having consistency. I've seen many people getting onto new jobs and showing their best self, being polite, being pleasant, being eager, and then all of a sudden they drift. It's like a roller coaster. Their behavior and their actions are like a roller coaster. They change when things become more difficult, or when they have a friction with their boss, they start changing. I would say that we are all human beings and we're allowed to drift. We're allowed to have a bad day. But at the end of the day, it's again a map. I create maps for the people I work with, and I want those people, I need those people to be within that map. Yes, you can go out, you can drift out for a while. It happens, we're all human beings. Things can change in your life. But if you want to enchant your bosses, have consistency. Have consistency in the way you deal with your customers, have consistency in the way you deal with your boss, have consistency in the way you respond back to messages, in everything. And the second thing is, don't have only a plan A as an employee, have a plan B and a plan C. Go into your boss always, not with the problem, but with suggested solutions, and pinpoint which solution you believe is the most appropriate one. And when your boss tells you, how will we make it work? Don't tell them, let me go back and see how it works. Have a plan on how you make it work. And even if it doesn't work, I think your boss will appreciate the fact that you have gone through the process, not the trouble, but through the process of planning it out. So this book is a great book to understand how to enchant not only employees, bosses, family members, and everyone you come across. So we talked about the proverb, we talked about the book. So now let's get to the online course, which is from Vanessa von Edwards, and it's called Creating Great First Impressions. Why creating great first impressions? Because it all has to do with enchantment. And just before we go on to discuss the online course, let me bring on Maria, who is my new colleague. And Maria is here with us, Maria Gregoriou, who's based in Gothenburg, Sweden. Hello, Maria. How are you doing?
Hello, Michael. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Have a great month. Have a great start to our collaboration.
Thank you.
And thank you for being present.
Thank you for having me.
So, Maria, you watched the online course. I've sent it to you over the weekend from Vanessa von Edwards. What stuck in your mind? Why is this an online course that our audience should watch?
Yeah, she mentioned great points. The one that stood out for me that I think is so important, and maybe we underestimated, is she mentioned one study from the European Journal of Social Psychology that said that our nonverbal signals are 12.5 times more powerful than our verbal words or our words.
Our words, correct.
And I think that speaks for itself. It's such a powerful way to use your body to send a signal to someone. To become enchanting is not just about words, it's about how you behave.
And I love how you expressed it both with your body language and with your words. And can you talk to us about the research by Oregon State University, which talks about the first 20 seconds and the first 20 minutes, which it's the juice of the online course?
Yes, absolutely. So they did a study where they had an interview with candidates for full 20 minutes. And at the end of that, they assessed them. And then they showed 20 seconds of those interviews
to other people
to be assessed in the same way. And they found that both first impressions or both impressions were actually the same, which is incredible.
It is incredible, bearing in mind that the second group never listened in on a question and an answer. They only saw the handshake pre-COVID. And
yes,
and the smile or lack of it. So yes. So if you want a shortcut to success, my dear friends, first impressions matter even more than the answers you give on your interviews to get a job. And if you don't have a great first impression, as the research by Oregon State University states, it is difficult to recover, which is very important. So Maria, I think we should give a statement to all our fans and friends to ponder before we go in and see their chats. And this is the statement. Maria, can you read it out, please?
So think of your ideal first impression word. This should be your goal for every first impression.
So what does this mean? What should our audience do?
So when you meet someone, before, let's say you're going to an event, you're going somewhere to network, or you're meeting somewhere over Zoom or whatever we're using these days, think of how you want them to perceive you. And then that word, embody it and make it your goal for that meeting.
Excellent. And do you have a first impression word? Is there something that characterizes you, Maria? Or you would like to be characterized by that something?
I have a few of them. I have a lot of them according to the situation, but I think the way that I want people to perceive me, not just in business, but in general, is someone that they can be heard.
Rely on.
Yes, exactly. Someone that can be there for them. Someone that can offer them something.
Okay, so keep that for our collaboration. So now let's go and see what our audience has answered about enchantment just before we close for the day. Christalla Panayotou says, those who truly enchant for the long term are those who are passionate about what they believe and do. Very true. Be true to yourself and with those around you, and you will undoubtedly enchant them. Consistency, wow, in your intentions and actions. Consistency in your intentions and the actions that follow are very important. Very
Absolutely.
good. Very good, Kristalla. Let's see what Fodi Kyriakos from London says. My first impression word is the name of the person you're meeting. It gets their attention and shows your empathy. Excellent. And I think you must have read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Let's see who else is here. Nikki, good morning. Our friend Nadia Themis is here. Let's see what Christina Alexandropoulou has answered. Was enchanted by a kind gentleman who served me coffee, and his eyes twinkled with happiness when he prepared it for me. Even the eyes talk, Maria. That's the 12 and a half
Yes.
times more that you mentioned.
Yes.
He was engaged with me in the moment. So be engaged in the moment. And that's what the online course talks about fronting, turning your body to the other person, even your feet and your legs, making eye contact. It was his attention that I received, and that he wanted nothing in return but a smile.
Amazing.
Amazing. Our friend Zeno Angelidis, who was based in New York and now in Athens, says good morning. Και καλό μήνα. Excellent. So very, very good.
Another thing
yes.
that I think is worth mentioning is it goes well with the smile, is that part of the course says that people can sense a fake smile versus a real smile. So when you go into a situation, make sure that you have a genuine smile.
Yes, and I believe in the book he talks about a Duchenne smile, which is not only your mouth smiling, but also your eyes.
Yes.
When you see a fake, it's like this. So a Duchenne smile. Richard Penninger, the head of UCL Business School, is here with us, Maria. And my dear friends and fans, thank you very much for being present. Please share this today's episode, and you get a chance to be our winner. But make sure you tag us for the Stand Up, Stand Out online course, and tag a friend you believe is worth listening to our today's show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, everyone. Take good care.